is Gina, and this week I'm going to be making oxtail stew. This is my husband's favorite recipe. He will go to any length to have me make this recipe, so that's why I figured it would be a good recipe to share with you all. This is from an old recipe book that my mother-in-law has, and she actually used to make it for him when he was younger. This video though is definitely going to be cooking motivation because this is a 2-day recipe with multiple steps. Because it's from an old recipe book, I obviously will not have a link to the recipe in the description box, but what I have done is written out all the ingredients and all the steps that I will be doing today. So definitely check that out after you watch this video. If you like cooking motivation, smash that thumbs up below. And if you'd like more weekly dinner inspiration, please subscribe to my channel. Without further ado, let's make dinner.
The first thing I start off with is washing off the oxtails in cold water. Placing them onto a cutting board lined with paper towels, and then just pat them dry. Take a soup pan, add a tablespoon of butter. Once the butter is melted, I'm going to add the oxtails in batches.
Hear that sizzle.
Brown them on all sides. Once they are done, I am taking them out and setting them aside. Adding more butter for the second batch, I'm going to put the rest of the oxtails into the pan. And let them brown on all sides as well. I remove them all from the pan, and I'm going to cut up my carrots.
Petite carrots, and I had these left over, that's why I'm using them, but you can also just use regular carrots. Place the carrots into a bowl. Onion. Cut off the bottom. Cut this in half. Got a cup of onions, and I'm just adding that to the bowl. 2 celery stalks that I've washed. Cut off the ends. Cup of celery. Gonna add that right into our bowl. And then lastly, we've got 1 clove of garlic that we need to crush. Place the knife over and just use your hand, crush that. Gonna add some salt, work that into like a paste, using a lot of downward force. We've got crushed garlic. I'm gonna put that right into our bowl here.
Season the veggie mixture with a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of dried thyme, and 2 bay leaves.
So we just want to cook up this mixture for about 5 minutes until the onions are browned. Add our oxtails back into the pot.
The recommended amount of liquid did not cover over the oxtails, so I would recommend just using a combination of beef broth and water to cover over the oxtails completely.
Turn our heat up to high because we want to bring this to a boil. Turn down the heat to probably I'm going to do a 2. So that you have a light simmer. Pop the lid on top and let this sit for 3 hours.
Now I'm going to open up a bottle of red wine. The recipe recommended red Burgundy, but you can use any variety of red wine that you would like to use, or even go to the wine shop and ask for their recommendation. 1 cup of red wine. All right, so it has been 3 hours. Oh, this smells so good. This is it after 3 hours. Remove it from the heat. Pour in 1 cup of wine. Give this a little stir just to incorporate that wine. Now we're gonna let this sit here to get back to room temperature, and then we'll put it in the fridge overnight. It has been overnight, and this is what the soup is looking like. Skim off all this fat. The perfectionist in me is going to be doing this for hours if I just don't stop here. Here you have it. This is after I skimmed all of the fat off. Heat the oxtails slowly over low heat, stirring occasionally. Bring to just the boiling point. While the stew is warming up, rinse off your carrots and potatoes. Fully peel all the carrots. Cut them into 1.5-inch pieces. We have our carrots ready to go. Partially peel the red potatoes. It just says 12 new potatoes, and I got red potatoes because Google said that that's a good substitute if you can't find new potatoes. But new potatoes are baby potatoes. So I'm going to cut all of these in half just so that this will cook, because I don't want them to be too big where they're like not cooking. I'm going to do big chunks. Add our potatoes. Carrots go right in there as well. So now we'll give that a stir so that we can incorporate all that into the soup. Put the heat on high just so that we can bring it back up to a boil. So we got our rolling boil. Now I'm going to turn the heat down to about 2 probably, and we're going to simmer this covered for 30 minutes. We need 1/4 cup of flour. So the way I measure out flour is I just put the measuring cup into the flour, and then with the back side of a butter knife, you just drag it right along top so you get a nice even top, and you got exactly 1/4 cup. So we'll put that into a bowl. For our bowl, we're gonna add 1/2 cup of cold water. Whisk this together until the flour dissolves in the water. We have our soup that has been cooking for 30 minutes. Make sure that, yeah, perfect. When you use your fork, it goes through nice and easy. And the carrots should be fine too. Yep. So we are good on that. Mix in our flour water mixture to stir this in to incorporate it. Let this cook, still simmering, for 5 minutes. So to serve this, we'll just get a nice big ladle and put it right in our bowl. Make sure you get all that good oxtail. This smells delicious. This recipe is so delicious, and we even invited friends over to share this, and they even were raving about it. So it definitely is a recipe I would consider trying. I know it is a little tedious, but it's definitely worth all the effort and love.
If you like this video, smash the thumbs up below. And if you would like more weekly dinner inspiration, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone!